Hi and welcome back. We're doing our update for the Eyes Project Pan, which stands for Enjoy Your Eyeshadows. This was created by Deb Barker, or Deb B, on YouTube and Instagram. As always, we have a lot of palettes, so we'll start from the least used to the most used. First off, we have, with one use, our Odin's Eye Singles, which was from our Throwback 30. We used Noah. Next was our Dandelions palette. We used these just randomly for a fall look. We used the Lethal Soca glitter gel one time. We used the Too Faced Born This Way Sunset Stripped palette one time. If I remember right, this was a random makeup and we just randomly chose, I want to say it was Chai Times, but I'm not positive. Also one use, we used the Lethal Avatar Fire palette. This was rolled in for a no pan left behind, and we used this whole top row, wrong way, this whole top row and then down this side. So we just have these four left for a look that I'm actually saving for Thanksgiving. That's in Deca Panning, I believe. I did not write them down. An Earthly Surrender palette was used one time. The Adept Arrow Inspired palette was used one time. The Adept Cyborg Choir, also used one time. The ColourPop Troublemaker, which was in Color Pan. We were trying to get a pan on the silver, and in one use this last month, we got that pan, and then it rolled out. So that rolled out at the beginning of the month, beginning of last month. The Hala palette by Odin's Eye was rolled in for one use. I believe it was for the green for a collab. Elf Rosewater palette, which was in Throwback 30, was rolled in one time, and that got us our pan in this shade to roll it out of the project, which is why it only had one use. The ColourPop Super Shock and Moonwalk, which was also in Color Pan, got its last use and rolled out of the project. Natasha Denetta Pastel palette was rolled in one time, and I know that was for the pastel green for a collab that was an autumn look with a pastel green. The Adept Seahorse palette was rolled in for one use, and I don't remember which one. Natasha Denona Sunset palette was rolled in for one use. There's another, it's just a fall palette that had to get used. It's fall. The Nomad Ireland palette was rolled in for one use. Okay, that was it for the one uses. The Acai palette, which is in Throwback 30, is rolled in for 2 uses. We're trying to finish the shade here. The Dandelions, the Snow Spell palette was rolled in for 2 uses. That's the one with the broken shades. So instead of opening it, to show you from our Throwback 30, it's this shade here that was used twice. From same pan last year, we rolled in the Huda Beauty Khaki Haze for No Pan Left Behind, which we achieved in 2 uses. I'm also going to put this down for our pit for this month. It's not a bad palette. I'm just not a big fan of the shades, and it's getting a little old and crumbly, and between the combination. Again, none of these are bad palettes, so it's hard to pick a pit, but I think we're going to go with this one for our pit. It's not bad quality. It still swatches well. It still looks good. It's just not my... Well, this one has got some hard pan in the middle, which is making it a little harder to show up. But it's not a bad palette. It's just the least of all these great palettes. Okay, so that was it for 2 uses. For 3 uses, we have the Lunar Beauty Moon Spell. Got rolled in 3 times. Most of those, where is it? Or so I could use Cameron, because I have a sweater I was wearing that's this exact same color, so I like pairing this palette with that sweater. My Nomad Singles palette got used 3 times, mostly just because this is all of Hudson Valley, plus there's a couple of shades from the Rainforest one, whatever that was called. I can't think right now. So of course this had to be rolled in, and likewise I'm going to mark this one as my peak, just because how can Hudson Valley not be a peak palette for October? I mean, seriously, it is so perfect for October. And because we usually swatch our peaks and our pits, there's a couple of those. It's just fall in a palette. It really is. Okay, so we had Moonspell. We had the Natasha Mini Gold palette was in for 3 uses. This is in Throwback 30. We're trying to finish off the gold shade. And finally for Throwback 30, the Lethal 2 palette, which is the one missing because this is again Throwback 30. It's this one right here. I didn't pull it out, but I know every time I use this one, I also use the, this is River Trail from Nomad Cosmetics. And this is in the Nomad Singles 2. I saw this palette and I forgot to pull the second single, so this one was also used 4 times. I think that's done, just in case. Okay, where are we? 4 uses. We have the Blend Money Lure palette. And only, I know this one got used once, but most of those 4 were on this shade in my brows, so just add some purple to my brows to match my new hair color. Devour was used by Unearthly Cosmetics, was used 5 times. And that's also for Throwback 30, trying to hit pan in this shade, although I did use several of these other shades during October as well. Nomad Haunted Europe was used 5 times. This was in a No Pan Left Behind for a same pan last year. Where are you? My Lethal Singles number 1 was used. Was used 6 times as well. This was in Same Pan Left Behind for No Pan Left Behind as well. And a Rogue palette from Fantasy Cosmetica was in 6 times. I'm trying to hit No Pan Left Behind 5 times on each shade. These have tape over them because they've reached their 5-use goal. The rest I'm still working on. This is, I think I said this is Throwback 30, but that. And then the 2 big ones, they're always the 2 top of the things, are my Pan That palette, which is the e.l.f. Truffle palette. And we have used this one 17 times in the past month. And then my Project Level Up, which is the ColourPop Mar palette, which we have used 18 times. And those 2 always get the most uses just because those 2 projects just require the most usage. So that's all the palettes that all the eyeshadows that I have used in the past month, both single shadows and eyeshadow palettes. If you want to see which palettes get used in November, go ahead and subscribe and we'll see you next month. Thank you. Bye.